No one has to be able to eat and run like a firefighter, but a fast-paced life is no reason not to eat healthy. So now there's the Healthy Firehouse Cookbook. Its author is a 14-year New York Fire Department veteran and Cosmopolitan Bachelor of the Month, Joseph Bonanno Jr. He's here to show us something healthy and delicious. Well, congratulations on both fronts.
Thank you. Good morning, Paula.
Nice
How are you
to
today?
see you.
Thank
Standing
you.
with one of New York's finest this morning. So
Okay.
you must be taking so much grief from your colleagues.
Yes, I'm sure
No
they're
more
all
hamburgers, no more nachos.
Yeah,
no
and I'm sure they're all watching right now, waiting for me to get back to the firehouse. Yeah, but it's a good idea for them to start eating healthy because we have the toughest physical job there is. So it's so important that we're in great shape, and that's why I started this whole trend towards healthy eating in firehouses, and I've seen it across the country.
So what have you had to give up?
A lot of the pie and ice cream and a lot of the meatloafs that are this big, so we scale them down a little bit, make them over a grill so the fat gets drained off, stuff like that.
And chicken's very popular?
Chicken is very popular, and you know what's also very popular is rice, because it keeps the cost of our meal down. It's good carbohydrate, that's our fuel for firefighting, and has no fat, sodium, cholesterol in it, so it's a protein and carbohydrate-based meals.
And we're going to make a filling that you would put inside a chicken breast.
Right, right. So we have some mushrooms here.
And what do you have in the pan right now?
Just a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick.
All
just
right.
maybe a tablespoon.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is put a little 2 tablespoons of sherry. That's about 2 tablespoons in there.
It smells great. I like the fact that we're safety conscious here this morning with your presence.
Yeah, there's actually a very good fire safety chapter in the book on what to do in case you do have a fire in the kitchen, things you need to be prepared for in the kitchen while you're having a fire.
Because we all make some pretty stupid mistakes from time to time. He even set a fire in the firehouse one time.
Well, it actually wasn't my fault. We got called out to an alarm. I thought it was going to be a false alarm, and when we came back, the whole kitchen was full of smoke. But you have 11 firemen you're working with. You got plenty of guys to put it out. So.
Well, nothing's going to happen here today. So you have the broccoli, the shallots, a little garlic over here.
No garlic in this one, and you're just going to wait till all of this kind of settles and softens up a little bit.
And we won't have time to wait for that to happen. And
right,
then,
we have a few prepared dishes here.
And what do? You buy a whole chicken?
Well, we got whole chicken breasts, slice them nice and thin, pound them a little bit flat, and then when this is done, you're going to put a little bit of low-fat Swiss on it.
All right.
Okay, and you're going to let that melt.
A little. Now that's
bit.
like very little.
Yeah, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. You don't want to sacrifice any flavor.
See, if I was doing that, the whole little bowl would go in there.
A little bit of Parmesan. I don't know if we're going to get to do this on the air, but what would you do is as all the mushrooms softened up, absorb some of the wine, you'd put a little bit, roll that up, put it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and that would be what our finished dish would look like. Any
tricks to rolling this stuff up?
No, just a tablespoon in the middle, roll it. You don't have to put a toothpick in or anything. Just lay it seam side down and put it in the oven like that.
And how long does this have to cook for?
15-20 minutes.
That's all?
That's it. And like I said, we serve it over a nice bed of rice, and you got yourself a nice meal there.
So on average, how long would most of the recipes take in your book? Because you guys are really on the go. You never know when
most of them
are
pretty fast. And actually, the soup, stew, and chili chapter is the best because that's the best because it's a one-pot deal. We can go out, reheat it when we get back. So we like to keep things all in one pot.
We want to move on down here to the dessert corner. What did you make here?
Okay, that's a low-fat carrot cake that I won the 1993 Fire Department Bake-Off with.
This does not look so low-fat. What's in this?
We used prune puree in it to substitute for the oil.
Oh, it's great. What else?
It's moist. You got carrots, pineapples, sifted flour, cake flour.
This is great.
And a low-fat cream cheese. Yeah, and it's a low-fat.
I don't even miss the oil. And down here is some rice
chocolate
pudding.
rice pudding. Again, we can use rice for a dessert dish too. And how we did that, we used skim milk in it instead of using regular milk. And you don't miss any of the flavor. 1/2 ounce chocolate bar.
Can I try that too?
Sure, you can.
I'll try. Let's
okay,
try this fork over here. So, what has been the general reaction of other firefighters?
In the beginning, they were a little resistant to it, but when I advertised to get the recipes from across the country from firefighters, I got a tremendous amount of recipes from firefighters. So it shows that there is a national trend of guys watching what they eat. It's no more the big, round firemen anymore. All the guys like to keep in pretty good shape now. They realize how important it is for our job.
The other good thing about the book is that you do give some fire safety tips. What do you think is the biggest single mistake most Americans make in their own kitchens?
They say most of the fires start from an unattended stove. Like, in other words, you're cooking and you go to another room to either take a phone call or something. The next thing you know, you come back and because you unattended the stove, you'll have a nice fire in your kitchen. Not a nice fire, but a fire in your kitchen.
And I'm also surprised how few people have fire extinguishers in their home.
Most people don't have a fire extinguisher in their kitchen. And most of the time, you can handle it yourself. Another big mistake a lot of people make is they don't call the fire department right away. Like, they think it's something they can handle themselves. Meanwhile, they delay 4 to 5 minutes until they call us.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
You
may be making some house calls to cook for some folks. This is great.
Okay, thank you, Paula.
We'll be back.
Warning. Watch this and you will be fired.